Hey everybody, it's me, Russ. Welcome to the channel. What does this record have to do with one of my recent jobs?
Paramount. And I'm right here. Look at this. 31st floor. 31st floor.
Nothing too glamorous. I basically put that TV on the wall right there, but this beautiful view, man. Some of the places I get to work in.
Look at this. This is amazing, you guys. This view of the Space Needle. Well, it's kind of peeking out from behind the buildings, but you're
Almost forgot to point out Lake Union right back there.
right downtown. There's the Camlin.
Oh man, all right, I remember this building now. Some of you guys may watch the video that I did on my oldest records. This is Linden Records from Seattle, Washington. Arguably the first, at least indie record company in Seattle. This record is from the 30s, maybe 40s. But Mr. Adolf Linden went to prison to learn how to make these records. Why did Mr. Adolf Linden go to prison? Because he worked for a Puget Sound savings and loan bank back in the day. And in order to build that hotel right below me as I did this job, he swindled some $822,000 out of the bank that he worked for. This is around 1925, 1926, in order to build that building. And that's why he went to prison. And that's how he learned to make these records, these little vinyl light kind of cheapy records. But kind of a cool piece of Seattle history that is also related to vinyl in the vinyl community, especially the Seattle record community.
Right next to us is that's the Washington Trade Center. And the frickin' Paramount. The Paramount. Wow. Dropping, feeling my ears pop. As I'm coming down from the 31st floor. Wow. Brand new building. Ooh, there it goes. Swallow. There we are. Here we are. Paramount Theater.
Wanted to share that, thought it was really cool. I asked my client if it was okay if I shared that little, I took some pictures, shared that little video, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem. But this is amazing. So this building being that tall, like this didn't exist when I was a kid. Part of it is when you create a huge landmark in the middle of your city, right? This is so the Space Needle, right? Everybody knows that you think of this Seattle, you see the Seattle skyline. If you see a skyline and Space Needles in it, you just go, Seattle, that's Seattle, right? So the problem with that in 1962, when they built the Space Needle, is the zoning that happened around the Space Needle, right? So all these buildings, all these people wanted to keep their view of that landmark. And so for years, the city wasn't allowed to build up, And so now there's high rises. And even this high rise, you can kind of see the Space Needle peeking out from behind a couple buildings there. But I thought that was really interesting. And it was a little piece of history, me being in this building on the 30 some odd floor, which was illegal when, even a decade ago, to build buildings that high. And now it's just buildings are going way up there. Lake Union, which I showed a glimpse of there, is a lake that's in the city. So we have a lake right in the city, which makes traffic fun. But also there's views from across the lake, up on Capitol Hill. Lake Union wants to build buildings up, and it's a whole thing. Jeff Bezos basically leases a bunch of buildings down there from the late, great, former billionaire, his company.
Bill Gates?
Paul Allen. His company Star Trek name starts with V. Anybody? Star Trek people would know. Vulcan. His name's Vulcan. His company's name's Vulcan because he's a big Star Trek fan. Paul Allen. Anyway, so he owns most of all this property, and there's been a big push to build big high-rises there, which would block a lot of views. Still a thing. Not going to happen. At least not anytime soon. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about buildings in Seattle because this is about records, and you're thinking to yourself, Russ, that Nirvana record, are you going to talk about that? I wanted to talk about the Paramount because that's where that was recorded. Now, the Paramount had that concert, which is an iconic video. My friend Sean Spins, his first episode of his whole channel is on that record, which I thought was cool. I don't own the record, unfortunately, but Netflix specials have been shot there at the Paramount. A number of concerts. I saw Ted Nugent, and the earliest concert I saw at the Paramount was Ted Nugent back in the 80s, when this was before the Paramount had been renovated. I forget, in the 90s? Yeah, it must have been in the 90s, because when Nirvana played there, I think this was after the renovation, so that must have been early 90s. Anyway, it was ratty. You know, seats were ripped. The bathroom was just graffitied. It was crazy. It was a crazy show. People are standing on the seats, you know, and it was wild. And the Motor City Madman put on a great show. It was a very memorable show, and really enjoyed that concert. Saw Owl City there. Saw some other bands that I can't recollect right now. But Paramount Theater, awesome. Going to share with you some records that we got. So like I shared in the last video, returned this album. We've put this on the turntable, and it sounds amazing. I mean, does it sound amazing? That's what clear vinyl and live shows, you know, it's hard to, there's some live shows like that, oh man, that Miles Davis live record that we got. That sounds amazing. This sounds a little more like a, you know, a rock and roll live show. I don't know how they, I don't know what to say about it. It's just, I would love to hear the CD to make a comparison, you know? Because I'm always suspicious of clear vinyl. I just am. Clear vinyl is sometimes problematic, as I've said before. Speaking of record store day, this just came in the mail from Spin Me Round Records. Palmer Park Mall in Easton, Pennsylvania. From Pennsylvania to Seattle. This was a great find. Now, here in the Seattle area, for some reason, I mean, most of the record stores did not get a lot of copies. I think the one I went to had 12, and I was number 13. So, I was thinking about going into the city. I actually did call. It's funny, I made that video, and I called, and they were out of it too, you know, down there in Silver Platters, down there in Soto, and Seattle didn't have it. I called Easy Street Records, big iconic record store here in Seattle. Pearl Jam's actually played at that record store. True story. A bunch of bands have. But anyway, called there. They were out of it too. So everybody's like, yeah, we just didn't get any copies of that one. Where Pearl Jam, of course, it's Seattle, so hometown band, right? They had lots of copies. Hesitant Alien, not so much. So we're watching, my wife and I are watching Spin Me Around Records, talking about record store day.
Gerard way.
Upside down Gerard way. But he's an alien. It's okay.
He's a hesitant alien.
Pearl Jam, and they were live on two legs. The Who, Tangerine Dream, Gerard way.
Here comes the pain.
Gerard
Is
way.
this two?
Yes, it's just,
Oh,
yep.
okay.
And yeah, they had a lot of Gerard Way. It's like, whoa, right? I mean, so much Gerard Way, we wanted to take some off their hands. And again, if you are missing this record, they've got a lot. I mean, like,
Here comes the pain.
Gerard
Is
way.
this two?
Yes.
Yes, it's just, yep.
a lot, right?
Huh?
Like, it's almost a problem, it seems, there, which is cool because here in Seattle, man, we didn't get hardly any. Distributors are weird, I guess. I don't know. I don't own a record store. So sure enough, we were able to order the record, navigate the website, which is, you know, always a challenge sometimes. Depending on the record store. It's just technology, right? You got to figure it out. Here we go. But I love these guys. Watch their channel. I'm glad I watched their channel. If I didn't watch their channel, I probably wouldn't be able to possess this record. Using my fancy mechanic knife. There we go. And very padded up. Very cool. Like this. Oh, hey. Sticker. Came with a Spin Me Round record sticker, which is very cool. Love that. And here it is. As promised, Hesitant Alien. Uncellophaning. Let's do this. Record Store Day exclusive. Now, it's exclusive on this color, right? I think that's one of the things. This album actually was released in 2014, and it was also a Record Store Day exclusive back in 2017, I believe it was. Did a little research, you know? Because you hear that, you hear a Record Store Day release or Record Store Day exclusive release, and, you know, you never know. So, there we go. See, on the outside, it's not damaged the vinyl. Comes like this, and this is interesting. So we have a paper sleeve, and then the record came in this. Ooh, but that's also a paper sleeve, which is interesting. Look at that. Look at that, Dana. Hesitant Alien. Very cool. So this side is, and you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Do you have paper? Like that's what happens when you put, I don't know what the deal is. Like it's 30 cents for a poly sleeve, people. Seriously. Just put it in a plastic sleeve for us, will you? Like, what the heck? But yeah, like red. You flip the record, the white, side 1, side 2. And how does it sound, you may ask? Record sounds great. Already shared a bunch on my last video, Record Store Day. I was listening to that on the Spotty while I was taking you on a record junkie ride along. That video will be in the end screen. Sean Spins. I really didn't know where I was going with this video when I started, so this has been a review of Hesitant Alien by Gerard Way, all right? It's Gerard Way. That's another thing. I have to thank the Spin Me Round Records people for helping me pronounce his name correctly. Gerard. It's Gerard Way. I should know this. I'm an intelligent human being. They also helped me navigate their website, all right? Like I've done complicated exhaust work on a 2019 diesel Ford truck. Yeah, it took a little while to figure out the record store's website, but got it done. Thanks again, Spin Me Around Records. Link in the description. If you don't have this album, odds are they still have it available. Thanks for watching, and later.